emotion, love, sex, beauty, and the way of nature. Xiefeng, April 4, 2012. Translation edited by Ji Jing. Gentle breezes blow, white clouds drift, green mountains layer upon layer, birds fly freely, flowers bloom and wither, tides rise and fall, morning light shines, and sunsets glow. Grasses and trees are lush, flowers are in full bloom, rivers rush, and streams babble. All of this is nature, all unfolding in the way of nature. Spring brings growth, summer flourishes, autumn harvests, winter stores, growth and decay, formation and dissolution, the alternation of seasons, and the cycle of life are all natural, all thriving and waning within the way of nature. Young girls awaken to spring, young men experience their first emissions, romance blossoms, and the union of yin and yang. All these are natural, all arise within the way of nature. The way of nature is the way of the greatest creator, the ultimate way of the universe, the most perfect way in space and time. Emotion is the spice of life, the form and function of sex or nature. All things are infused with emotion. All beings are sentient. Emotion is the ultimate expression of the way of nature. Love is the dance of emotions among those who attract, harmonize, and resonate with each other. It is the deepest essence of all life's continuity, a combination of all beautiful things and a source of nourishment. Sex, or nature, is the essence of life. It is life itself. All things and phenomena are expressions, manifestations, and blossoms of sex. Beauty is the outward expression of life's essence. It is the core element that makes the world vibrant and fascinating, the melody and dance of light's many wavelengths. Emotion, love, sex, and color are all manifestations of nature and its most primitive essence. They are the most valuable components of life, the source of all pleasures, and the essential forces that sustain life. The vibrant and colorful splendor of the world is due to emotion, love, sex, and beauty. Without them, the world would be barren, lifeless, devoid of vitality, joy, and meaning. It would be cold, bleak, indifferent, and dead. Willows sway, bamboo bends gracefully, birds sing melodiously, swans glide, peacocks fan their feathers, mandarin ducks play in the water, tender gazes and shared drinks under the moonlight, babbling streams, and lush green mountains. All of these are emotions, ripples, and waves of sentiment. Flowers exude fragrance, fruits hang heavy on the branches, cows and sheep calmly nurse, the sunset bathes the mountains and rivers. All of these represent love, the blossoming and overflow of affection. Majestic mountains, rushing rivers, towering peaks, valleys emerging from the mist, birds soaring in clear skies, fish swimming in the waters, peonies in full bloom, and butterflies fluttering. These all represent sex, the expression and exuberance of nature. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. A rainbow arches over mountains, wildflowers bloom. Greenery thrives, parrots and nightingales flaunt their beauty, jade, agate, and coral reefs shine, and the multicolored sparkle of diamonds. All these represent color, its brilliance and grace. Emotion, love, sex, and color are masterpieces of nature, expressions of the natural world. Without them, would nature still be nature? It would be hell, a gathering of demons. Humans are the essence of nature, so we should fully embody the fragrance and nectar of emotion, love, sex, and color. Without emotion, a person becomes unfeeling, devoid of interest, cold, expressionless, cruel, like a mummy. Without love, a person becomes greedy, selfish, jealous, combative, inherently lazy, and repulsive, like a demon. Without sex, a person cannot distinguish yin from yang, right from wrong, lacks understanding of principles, cannot tell good from evil, beauty from ugliness, fragrance from stench, rendering them useless, without offspring. Without color, a person's face is like dead ash, lifeless, eyes vacant, devoid of beauty. Such a life is worse than dung. Some people practice Buddhism, claiming that emotion, beauty, and sex are desires to be transcended. What nonsense! The more you transcend emotion, beauty, and sex, the more you become a demon, a zombie, a mummy. Some people practicing Buddhism claim that they no longer need emotion, beauty, and sex and aim to focus solely on reaching the Elysium world. This is an affront to Buddha and the Elysium world. Without emotion, love, sex, and beauty, what is the point of reaching the Elysium world? Without these, can it still be Elysium? How can you find bliss without them? Some say that emotion, beauty, and sex deplete energy, causing it to flow out. What nonsense! I've never heard of energy flowing in sewage pipes, of energy being depleted in the toilet, or of sexual union actually draining energy. I've even heard that those who enjoy emotion, love, sex, and beauty will struggle to achieve enlightenment. That's pure nonsense. Without emotion, love, sex, and beauty, what are you striving for in enlightenment? Does enlightenment lack these elements? Enlightenment devoid of emotion, love, sex, and beauty is no true enlightenment. It's a distortion, definitely not true enlightenment. Such a path is like dog feces, horse urine, scabs, or filthy, sticky pus. Buddhism doesn't even understand the origins of the universe and life. It's nonsense. All day chanting, burning incense, and bowing with no joy, no vitality, living in a dreamlike stupor, straying from the way of nature. What is that worth? Nothing. Even comparing such a study to nonsense is too kind. It's worse than that. What is Buddha? Is something without emotion, without love, without sex, without beauty considered Buddha? It doesn't even compare to dog feces. Some people practice Buddhism and say that one should reject and transcend sex. This is utter ignorance, not even knowing where fart comes from. Buddha himself embodies sex. Without sex, can there be a Buddha? Can you achieve Buddhahood if you transcend sex? Can you even transcend sex? Without sex, you wouldn't even exist, so how could you transcend it? Even if you could transcend sex, what would remain? What would be left in this vast world? In short, to achieve a wonderful life and a bright future, one must immerse oneself in emotion, love, sex, and beauty, rather than distancing oneself from them. Immersing oneself brings vibrant splendor, overwhelming beauty, and boundless vitality. Distancing oneself results in desolate wastelands, howling ghosts, lifelessness, and endless suffering. Additional content. Fine Celestial. Excellent article. Every mental constraint can bind human nature. This article can remove the mental constraints in people's hearts. Haha. In fact, the key issue is not what to do, but how to do it. And how to do it reflects a person's spiritual quality and conscious thinking. A perfect spirit involves continually transforming consciousness and changing thinking. Emotion, love, sex, and beauty are not about whether one should engage in them or not, but whether one's spirit is perfect, whether it has transformed from mundane to celestial in these aspects, from attachment to freedom and liberation. A spiritually perfect person is not attached to emotion, love, sex, or beauty, nor trapped by them. Emotion, love, sex, and beauty are the most basic and vital elements of nature or life. Instead of transcending emotion, love, sex, and beauty, one should understand how to elevate them. This is the true meaning of cultivation and practice. However, all of this involves a process of self-evolution and sublimation. In essence, all activities of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind should not be clung to. One must learn to face them with a heart that is detached or naturally free, which is true awakening, and thus achieve the state of non-action where nothing is left undone. As for energy loss, I believe it is not about the activities of emotion, love, sex, and beauty themselves, but about where the mind and consciousness are focused.